what you doing.
Oakland University. Oh,
I know you saw it.
Yo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh shit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Come on, bro. You got it. You got it, Uncle Mari? Yeah. Woo! 20 week. Ryan, bro. My guy, bro. Cuz, bro. YouTuber. That's looking nice, bro.
My daughter had a roommate.
It's if I can take a nap.
I'm the king of my city. Well, you got a nice seat there, you. Tables. Ooh. Bro, Ryan, what if I drop my phone from here? God damn. They stop playing. Oh yeah. There's a military coming through. Tell me, how you feeling, bro? How you feeling? How you? Ooh. It's the Blue Cowboys. Oh yeah. It look interesting.
You can mess with the pool tables, just put everything back. Okay.
Yeah.
For like 2 minutes, yeah.
Yo, bro. Yo, Oakland University, bro. Shit. Look at this. Yo.
I have to go to college.
Oh, God, look, bro. I got straight A's. Oh.
I'm not trying to hit it. Shut up.
Mario, I'm about to get your ass on camera, too. I'm gonna get your ass on camera, too. Go on, bro. Hit it. Fail. What'd I say? Oop. Oop. That's great. Nice.
Don't get in trouble for losing you guys. Yeah. Can we have everyone right?
Yeah.
Okay. So right behind us is the Elliott Tower that was donated by rich people with the last name Elliott. So you guys want to guess how tall it is?
What?
20. Wait, no.
152 feet.
Less, higher.
What? How tall?
Wait, what did you say?
152.
Oh no, lower.
50 feet.
How much lower?
Really close.
The tower?
Ooh. Lower or higher?
What did you say, Jen? Lower.
He said 50.
I said 50 feet.
Oh no, higher.
160.
55.
No, lower.
55 feet.
54.
Higher.
53.
135.
53.
Higher.
140.
52.
Higher.
51.
134? No, higher.
52.
120.
52.
No, lower for me? Like, one lower.
51.
Yeah,
Let's go. No, you said 151.
I did. Yeah, I said
I say 152.
yeah.
I said 151.
How tall is the Elliott Tower?
The Elliott Tower is 150 feet tall. It's 1 foot.
Dang. Right, bro. How you feel, bro?
We're gonna go this way.
Like big band. Oh my God, it's like
Oak Park, this way. Bro. What? Ooh, bro, this is looking nice, bro. We have to make it here, bro. We have to make it here. We gotta go to some sort of college, bro.
We outside. We
Uh-huh.
Oakland University.
Outside. Uh-huh. Hold on, let me get Nessie boy right
Look
here.
at that. Look at that. Look.
My guy, how you feel?
What does that say?
How you feel?
I feel depressed.
All right, now, we ain't talking to you no more. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. Ooh, now the rain's starting to hit.
Me and little cousin.
Ooh.
Big Ben, little brother right there.
Alright, it's so nice, bro. What? Shit, bro. I ain't trying to get my shoes wet dirty either. Oh, Mr. Bombastic, super fantastic. Is he trying to race? Okay, I'm trying to race, OG. Alright, let's go. Oh yeah. What's up? Shoot, I be thinking like what I want to do if I go to college. I want to ask some questions. Oh, that's fire.
You're good. Right there. That's good, you guys.
Oh, hell no, bro. I'll be like right here in the front. You're right there, bro. I'm gonna be right. Hey.
I'm the team president of Grizzlies Racing. What Grizzlies Racing is, it's a Formula SAE team at Oakland. What we do is we build a race car. Problems, you're trying to fix them constantly, and then
What the duck doing?
So you don't.
This place is so cool. You're getting kicked out.
Push back.
Lord, we have another group right here, so can you guys drop
There's so much. So small in here.
Sorry, just keep going that way.
What's messy?
What is this?
So this is our robot.
Camera. He look like a zombie. Star. You ready? Yeah.
You're so weird.
How am I weird? Side eye. I'm gonna edit this too, right? You're so Jalen, bro.
What is wrong with you?
Look at Jalen's face. When you like close up in it, back in here. Marion, tell me how you feeling, bro?
Mother, this guy stinks!
For real, I feel the same way, bro. You feel me? Your IDs.
I just want to say, I'm
Ryan,
not,
how you feeling?
no, fuck off, man. I'm not here for none of this. I'm here for the food. Where the food at? I'm hungry.
All right, that's enough of him. He can eat my phone. All right, Ryan, how you feeling? It's weird. Right, how you feeling?
Good. Quite sick.
Tell you shit, tell you shit. What is this? I hate the sound my shoes are making. I feel like SpongeBob.
Alright, just keep to the right. We're gonna go through. So keep to the right.
Split the pole. Type shit, type shit.
Alright, can someone hold the door?
Ryan, you gonna hold that door?
That one is our storage room though. And then everything else is like for storing.
Oh, dang. I don't think this elevator gonna fit everybody.
It's actually the smallest elevator on campus, so we're just gonna have to squeeze.
Hey, dug it out.
You could have some people take the stairs. Are we in the back room for real? What floor are we going to? Virtual reality? Virtual reality, bro. They're doing virtual reality in there, bro. Oh. He's having you off like video games.
Games.
Ooh.
Fortnite's crazy.
You guys know the company who makes it?
Yeah. Epic Games.
This tab is made by Epic Games.
Oh, I didn't know.
You haven't hired me? I gotta get hired.
Because they are now using the games to help the manufacturing industry, like making cars, healthcare, surgery, all that. The same technology is being used for that. And if you need a headset, you go into the world, okay? Now, any of you have experienced virtual reality before?
Nah. Nah, I haven't, bro.
Do you know what augmented reality is?
Yes.
Take the real world and change it.
It
How do you do that? You want to see it?
turn your imagination to reality.
Okay, let's look at this thing.
Nothing. This one is sleeping. How about this guy? Oh! Where is the chair?
Bro, look, the movie.
It's just moving. These are paintings, right? This is Van Gogh's painting. So this is called augmented.
There's also more paintings on the inside, and you guys can come in.
Oh, I gotta work here.
No, we're kind of
The games are
So
good,
here,
bro.
guys, what you have
Games
is
are
an
good.
opportunity. We have the Meta Pro headset over there to experience. We have the Microsoft HoloLens for creating holograms, and we have the Beat Saber game here. So go ahead and experience it. Try it out.
Ooh. It's a Beat Saber? Oh. Let's go, my guy.
Pull the trigger to hit. Can you see things?
Yeah.
Also, you want to recommend? And then a little bit to the left, a little bit more.
Bro.
So you see the 100 hills or 100 hills. And play.
Bro, how are you doing that?
Can you put it back? So what you do is we're gonna
you take out sort into the poetry. That's one of the flip over to the VR. So you kind of look around. There's a mirror somewhere.
Look at
Look into the mirror and see what
What are you doing?
Man, I'm just recording.
somewhere, and that's where you'll hold it up. Can you see me right now? Perfect. You see like the blue square? You can walk inside of that. And then it'll flip you over to the VR experience. You can look around. Try to find the mirror.
Is that what kind?
Do you see like the mirror? Yeah, look around. There should be like a little avatar.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. But what you're in right now is just like the lab, so you can load up different games from there. There's like a menu bar floating around.
Alright, Yami, are you just your group? Okay. Are you there now? Alright.
Right there. This is like, what's like a good question? Tell me like, what would you say like would be a good way to get a scholarship here?
Pioneer schools.
Pioneer schools?
No, I don't know. So I got a full ride, but that's because I went to ITA, which is a school in Pontiac.
Let me get in front of you.
Why?
They have programs where you can
I got me in the front.
Yeah, it's like weightation period. Just look up any scholarships that can be anything that's like specific to you. So it could be based off of like income or where you live, or if you're left-handed, there's even scholarships for that. There's scholarships for being a girl. There's scholarships for being Mexican.
So my question is like, how does the scholarship work? Do you like look at your things at like school, or do you guys like take your like papers to like a school or college?
I would say to just like look online, and then like a lot of them you have to like write an essay for, or like write like a one-page essay for, or they can be based off of your grade. When you fill out your FAFSA, you'll probably get like a Pell Grant, like from the government. They'll give you a certain amount of money, no matter what.
Mexican.
Alright, so basically like I show my grades like online or like in person.
Oh, like online.
Alright, alright. Okay, everything's online nowadays. Alright, good question, Star. You got a question? Oh, let me get some of this camera, bro. I'm cold. Yeah.
That's cat, bro.
Yeah. I don't know what we eat here. They bring us lunch bags.
You have one more activity, and then you have lunch.
Oh, alright.
Me? Oh, thank you. And your respect. Thank you. Like my umbrella too?
Yeah.
That is a cold umbrella though. That is cold.
You guys way more than my group.
What's wrong with your group?
Wait. They were just like, oh, so did you like anything? They were like, not even sitting down. I was like, okay. Nice.
Bro, I would do another recording. What's
We get to do the fun stuff. This is what you've been waiting for, right?
Ooh, what fun song we about to be doing?
We're gonna get to that.
All right.
We'll do some hands-on stuff.
All right, wait.
Blood type. And I am the director of the laboratory at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. And this is Suzanne. Suzanne is the supervisor at Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. And we're very excited that you've chosen to come to this session where we're going to talk about professions in the laboratory. I'm originally from Australia, that's why I sound a little funny.
Yeah, I hear the accent. That's why I like the accent.
Well, I've been here over 30 years, but I've been part of the Henry Ford Health System for 31 years, and all except for 7 of those years, my career has been in the laboratory. And so what we're going to do today is talk to you about amazing things that you can do and learn about and become a part of the professions in the laboratory. So by a show of hands, who is interested in science? Yeah, some of you are like, yeah, no way. That's okay. What about medicine? Who's interested in medicine? You like both? That's great. What about just who's interested in helping people? Yeah, see? You know, you talk about the medical profession and everybody thinks they want to be a doctor or a nurse, but we are here to share other professions that are in the laboratory, which is an amazing place to be. What we're going to do is Suzanne is going to have a short PowerPoint presentation and a little video so that you can learn more about us. And then, as you can see, we have gloves and a mat at your station because we're going to do some blood typing today. So when I give you the signal, then you can put on your gloves and we'll start handing out samples, and we're going to figure out what blood types you have today in these tubes that we have up here, all right? But otherwise, I'll hand it over to Suzanne.
Okay, so when I was your age, you a doctor? Well, there's way more professions, and if you went to the other two and saw the rehab and saw respiratory, now you're going to hear the third allied health we're presenting here today, which is laboratory medicine. And it's an entire career ladder that starts from entry-level positions where if you have a high school diploma and you can be a lab assistant, or you take a little bit of training and learn how to draw blood, then you could be a phlebotomist. And then if you wanted to go on and further your education, you could go to a 2-year degree, which is a medical laboratory technician, and then a 4-year degree, a medical laboratory scientist. And then if you really have higher aspirations, you could go on to medical school and be a pathologist. So those are the ones who do the autopsies and look at crime scenes and all of those other really cool things. But we're going to talk about all kinds of different professions in the laboratory. So how many of you have had your blood drawn? Everyone? Okay, so they go and they take a bunch of tubes out of your arm, and they're like, oh my gosh, are you gonna leave me any blood left? You know, because they're taking 3, 4, 5, 6. You got lots of blood in you. You got about 12 pints of blood in you, and we're only taking a few mLs in the tubes. And when I went to school, and I really thought I wanted to be a doctor at first, I did volunteer work at Henry Ford downtown, and I had to interact with patients and patient families, and I decided I didn't want to actually touch the patients. I knew I wanted to be in medicine. I knew I had a love of science and math and all of those really cool things, but I didn't actually want to be there with the patient every single day. So by working in the laboratory, you're working behind the scenes, and you're still an important part of the healthcare team. And I always joke that my patients come in little tubes about this big. They don't throw up on me. They're pretty predictable. I know what they're gonna do. And so that way I'm taking care of the patients without having to actually physically touch them. So, it's either due to a bacterial or a viral infection. So if we took a little bit of took a swab and went along that eyelid and then put it on an agarose plate, if it was a bacterial infection, we could identify what bacteria caused that person's pink eye. Who's had strep throat? I've had strep throat. Have you ever looked in the mirror and seen what your throat looked like when you had strep throat?
Yeah.
Looked like up at the top. So it's red, it's inflamed, it hurts. Those little whitish yellow spots are pus pockets. And so that's from your body trying to fight off and kill the bacteria that's in the back of your throat causing strep throat. If we were to take a swab and swab a piece of that and put it on a plate, like I was just talking about with the pink eye, it would grow up. I could take some of that, put it on a microscope slide, stain it, and I would see that they are, you can't really tell very easily, but those are all purple, they're round, they're in chains, it's strep.
My brother was actually born strep throat.
Was born with strep throat? So he got antibiotics right from the start. And it's good to treat with antibiotics because you don't want strep throat to go in and cause anything else like problems with your heart later on. So that's why we have to take antibiotics for that. Okay, so some of the facts about working in the laboratory. We're behind the scenes, we're a highly skilled team of pathologists, specialists, scientists, technicians, assistants, and phlebotomists. And I think it's really cool that I get to call myself a scientist because I think that's great. We're able to determine the presence or absence of disease. We can evaluate treatment and make sure that the patient is getting better. If they're not getting better, what's going wrong that maybe the doctor has to readjust the treatment plan. We also take care of not just sick people, but we take care of well people. So we maintain patient health and caring of the patient, and we work with other departments in the hospital for the common goal of helping to take care of sick patients. We generate data that assists the physician in detection of cancer, heart disease, diabetes, infection mono, bacterial viral infections, and then drugs of abuse. So we do drug testing as well. 70% of all clinical care, either the physicians or the nurses or the physician assistants, the decisions they made that either diagnose a disease in a patient or a treatment plan is based on a lab result. So when you get that blood drawn, nobody knows the middle part. You get your blood drawn, you get your results. What happens in the middle? Well, that's where all of us take care of your blood samples and fill in the middle piece. Okay, so a typical day in the lab. So we have phlebotomists, as I mentioned. They're the ones that draw blood from the patients. We have lab assistants. They process the blood that the phlebotomists have just drawn. So they might have to spin the blood. They might have to pour it over. They deliver it to the other departments. They receive it in the computer system. And then we have 2-year and 4-year degree technicians and scientists that actually perform the testing. So that whole middle part of getting from when you get your blood drawn to you get a result in your health chart in the computer. So we do the testing, there's large instruments that we have to take care of. We have to do quality control to make sure that our results are accurate, because we don't want to give your doctors the wrong results and them treat you based on a wrong result. That's not very good. And then also we look at the results and say, do they make sense? Is it compatible with life? Was there a problem with the specimen? What's really going on here? So a lot of detective work in trying to figure out all the issues. So here's our phlebotomist that's collecting a blood sample. We collect both from young and old, even babies. We'll draw newborns sometimes. We have to do that. And then the lab assistants preparing and receiving the blood for testing. So you can see someone is spitting blood. There's that blue centrifuge in there, loading an automation line, receiving it into the computer. So these two job classifications are things that you can do with a high school diploma. And we love hiring young people to be able to do those. And it's a great opportunity, either as a career for your life, or if you want to move on and maybe make some money while you go to college. So it's a great way to fund the way to get into college. Now there's different sections in the laboratory that do testing. This is my section, hematology. This is my love and my passion. I have a microscope and I look at slides all day long, and I'm the eyes for the physician. So if somebody gets their blood drawn and I make a slide and I look at it under the microscope, I can tell what's going on long before the physician actually knows what's going on. So if somebody comes in and they're very sick and maybe they're weak and they are pale and they have little bruising all over and they draw their tube and they send it to me and I look at it and I see something like this up in the upper corner, that person has a blood cancer. That person has a leukemia. I know before that patient or before that doctor knows that that patient has something seriously going on and having blood cancer disease. So I am the eyes for the physician. The other two blocks with cells in there, this one, you have 5 different types of white blood cells. This one is a lymphocyte. There are red cells in there and a lymphocyte and one little platelet at the bottom. Has anyone ever heard of mononucleosis, kissing disease? Yep, that white cell down there, that's what they'll look like there. So when I look at it, I'm like, oh, I bet they have mono. So that is very communicable, and you can share it between people, just drinking out of someone else's glass or kissing or sharing, or as I say, swapping spit. Another department in our laboratory is coagulation. So we take for granted that you get a paper cut or you have some kind of injury to your skin and you start bleeding. That you're going to put a Band-Aid on it and 5 to 10 minutes later you're going to stop bleeding, right? I mean, that's what always happens, right? Well, unfortunately, there are some people that don't stop bleeding. So they have something going on in their blood that prevents them from stopping bleeding. So underneath that Band-Aid, that is a blood clot that forms where the injury is to keep the blood inside of you and from it to stop bleeding. So you have red blood cells, those blue things are platelets, and then you have these strings of fibrin that come together that look almost like a spider web or a mesh and holds that all together, and it gets constricts smaller and smaller, and that's what keeps you from bleeding to death. So in order for that to happen, all of these things have to happen in that particular order to form that blood clot. So all of those proteins are made by your liver. We can measure them, so if there's a reason why you continuously are bleeding, then we can measure all those factors and let the doctor know what's going on and why you can't stop bleeding. And more detective work, right? Another laboratory is chemistry. So who has somebody in their family that has diabetes? Yes. Unfortunately, a lot of people have family members in their diabetes, or even kids your age, unfortunately, now have diabetes. Kidney disease, having heart issues, all kinds of things. Those are things that we test for in our chemistry department. So when we draw your blood and we spin it down, We take the liquid part of it. I get the cells under my microscope, but the liquid part of it we can actually use to test for glucose, or we can use to test for something called like a troponin. So if somebody comes in with a heart attack and we measure this protein in your blood, we can let the doctors know that that patient has had a heart attack. Maybe they need to go to the cath lab and get a stent. Maybe they need some other interventional treatment plans. There's huge instruments that you're responsible for taking care of in chemistry, as well as running quality control, because as I said before, we don't want to give wrong results out to the doctors, so we have to make sure our instruments are working the way that we expect them to. Even urine. Urine can tell amazing things about what's going on in your body. If you have diabetes and your blood glucose is greater than 180 milligrams per deciliter in your blood, it will then spill over and you will have urine in your, glucose in your urine. One of the very earliest tests, like 150 years ago, they used to test for diabetes. They knew it was there, but they didn't know exactly what was going on. The physician used to actually taste people's urine. Isn't that disgusting? Think about it. And if it tasted sweet, like it had sugar, then they knew they had a sugar problem. Yeah, I am not tasting urine. I can tell you that much. I'm glad we've evolved from that. But there's all kinds of things. I have a chart over here where you can see crystals that are in urine, bacteria. If somebody has a urinary tract infection, and they need antibiotics, we can see the white blood cells and even see bacteria in the urine. Yes?
What laboratory tests for like brain cancer and stuff like that?
For brain cancers? Pretty much not a laboratory test. That would be like an MRI or a CT where they want to physically look. A brain tumor doesn't necessarily cause a change in your blood, but more in the cells of the brain. Now, our pathologists who are our doctors, so say if the surgeon went in and thought maybe you had a mass here, and they took something called a biopsy, so they went in with a needle and took a piece of it, and then I'll show you in a minute, they would put them on a slide, and then the pathologist would look at those cells underneath the microscope and let the doctor know if it was cancerous or not. So if they had specific types of brain cancer cells that they saw. But as a blood test for us to do, we would not be able to tell. Transfusion medicine, or blood bank. This is what we're going to do in a little bit. We're going to figure out our patient's blood types in a little bit. So here, what we're doing is you have ABO-RH. Does anyone know what their blood type is? No? I'm an A-neg, and we'll talk about blood types in a little bit. But we can tell what blood type it is. Say somebody gets in a really bad car accident, and they bring them to the hospital, and they need blood because they're bleeding out. It is our job to find blood that's compatible with the patient's blood type, because if we give the wrong type blood, we can kill somebody in 5 minutes. So we have to be able to make sure that the blood that we're giving to try to help them is really going to help them, not hurt them. You mix the wrong blood, it forms a big clot. And see, like, we're going to look at clots in a little bit. See how that big chunk of blood is in that one with the blue? Imagine that all through your blood. And then your blood cells wouldn't be able to take oxygen to your tissue, and it would clot up in all your organs and stuff. And that person's going to die. So we do take our job very seriously, because we know that if we make a mistake, it could have really bad effects. And we treat every patient like they're our family member, because we wouldn't want anything bad.
Give it a little bit of a shake. You're either going to see a clump in there, we call it agglutination, or a clot. One guy in one of the classes said it looked like a goober. And if you don't, you're going to see just a uniform sort of cloudy looking tube. Who has a clump? Who has agglutination in their tube?
In the second tube.
I think I have. Okay. If you have agglutination in your second tube, that means your patient is either B. If you had agglutination in your A tube and agglutination in your B tube, you're going to be an AB. So there's 4 blood types you can be. You can be an A, a B, an AB, or an O. So if some of you, like my tubes, don't have agglutination in either of them, that means my patient is an O. I already know that just from these 2 tubes. And the final step we need to know now is, are you Rh positive or negative? Okay? So you're either going to be, like, I'm A positive and Suzanne is A negative. So Suzanne could technically give me her blood, but I couldn't give Suzanne my blood. So if you shake that third tube, anyone got a clump in their third tube? Okay.
Means you're positive.
So now you're positive. So now, if you hold up your 3 tubes, you now know what the blood type is of the patient that's in this tube. Mine happens to be O negative because there's no agglutination in any of my tubes.
And that's the universal donor.
You're O negative.
O negative.
Yes,
Anybody
you are
else's
O
blood
negative.
type can get O negative. My
Looks like
son's
yours
O
is O
negative. From the
negative
time he
as
was little,
well.
I used to say he had the blood that saved little babies, because we love to give O neg to the little tiny babies. So O's are about 45% of the population. A's are about 42% of the population. About 6 to 7% for B's, and only about 3% for E's. So let me read what yours are. So you have it in all 3? You're an AB pos. You have nothing in A, but in these 2, you have
O negative? Looks like you're O negative too. That's the universal donor. If you're O negative, every blood center wants to pull you up and say, please come and donate your blood. Because yours is O positive. We still want you too, because you have your blood for someone that's A, B, or negative. So we would like you to actually like everybody's blood type. Because if I'm A positive, there are lots of other people, today said like 45% of the population out there. And they look and want them to donate blood to the
Let me use up a G.
Does she? Yeah, I know where DMC is. I have friends that work down at DMC Hospital. All right. So what I want to do now is just go around and. So.
Hey.
We need to take the tubes. You're going to put it on this little platform. And they will go right in there. And then everyone can take off their gloves and just leave them right at their workstations. And then before you go, I want to give you a packet of information here. Summarizes some of the things we talked about, and then in the back there's some crossword puzzles and some final words that are for lab. Okay?
And while your tubes are being collected and you're getting some additional information, I have a blue survey for you. So make sure this gets filled out and back to me. And then the last thing we're going to do together is lunch today. Yay.
Yes.
Okay?
Bro, I'm ready to turn up, bro. We're eating some good food.
All right.
They get like right.
Oh.
But I didn't like get steady.
No, not at home, unfortunately. Oh, almost take it. You can edit it.
I got it.
Did you get one?
Yeah.
That's a blast. That's a really ugly cell. That's a bad cell.
Go eat, bro. Yeah. Hey, we about to eat, bro. Free food? We gotta pay for this. Like, on G.
Wow, they are already gone.
Oh God, look at this passing Michelle. Michelle.
That is crazy.
Michelle, why you so scared? Yo, free food?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they want you all to eat. Come on. Turkey or chicken? Turkey. Chicken?
Wait, turkey chicken what?
Huh?
Turkey chicken what?
Sandwich.
Oh.
Turkey or chicken sandwich? Okay. Don't forget your. Yeah.
Hold on, Ryan, what it look like? What does turkey look like?
Anybody want turkey? Turkey?
Oh, pig.
Ooh.
Chicken?
Turkey, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't forget your drink. Don't forget your drinks. Come on.
Only diet?
You better drink right here. Don't forget your drink.
All they got is diet, bro. I think we get Diet Pepsi. Ooh. I bet, bro. I got money. Come on, now I got money.
Hey, you gonna give me some?
Hold up. I got money.
Bro, you gonna give me some? She said it's expensive. Over here.
We're over here. Right. Yo, what they got over there, bro? I got $4. I ain't bring the rest of my money. Boy, I got this right here.
I thought it was 20.
I claim it. I claim this seat. Jalen, watch my seat. I'm about to go in there and buy me some. I claim this seat. Jalen, watch my seat, bro. I'm about to go buy
My light skin shit, man. Hey, man.
Hey, huh? You need some sparkling water. You feel me? Goofy ass dance, bro. Oh yeah.
Whoa, man.
Come on, get you, bro. Turn it, bro.
Bro, camera on my face.
Yo, bro, sparkling water actually pretty good.